And even those that we looked, and that's the other question here, is that during this summit, very few of us, and maybe there were those who did and were silent, actually looked at this person who's coming to offer you their hand in marriage. In my village, we normally say the person who comes to say they want to marry you, they say, thank you very much, you have come. So what they do before you actually come for the visit is that they send emissaries to your village to find out if there's poverty in your house, if there's madness, if there's something wrong with you people. So which emissaries were actually looking at France's problem? That France is the second largest economy in Europe, but is suffering from a heavy tax issue. Their economy has been tanking over the last 10 years. There is there's lack of investor confidence. There's, of course, a political gridlock where Le Pen wanted to come in and change things, essentially. There's a cry for renewed nationalism, whereby, Macron is trying to leave a legacy where he's saying, we've actually made this come true with a lot of other countries in the world. There are protests on the streets of Paris every day about things like how much money they're spending on pensions and welfare and things like this. The economy has not grown significantly for the last 6 years. That's the country that we're talking about here, who might also be in a spot of trouble, who's coming to offer a hand of help. Does it matter that they may be going through a bit of a pickle, but are offering up a hand of help here?
That's an interesting question, because one of the best ways to solve economic crisis as a politician is to deflect them.
Okay.
I remember during Moi era, there would be a crisis, and somebody would blame a neighboring country and so on. We still do that always. So sometimes externalizing a problem becomes a solution, which is not a very good solution.
Okay.
So I can assure you that if you look at the way the summit was framed, nobody had time to ask those questions. I can tell you that. And for some reasons, we don't pay a lot of attention on France. One, because of language, and then because there's more focus on China, more focus on the US, and nowadays the Arabian countries, UAE and so on. So nobody focuses about that. And you are right that both President Macron and President Ruto are in a very similar situation, that we have internal problems, and France and in Kenya. So if you can externalize that, that would probably deflect a lot of pressure from the country. So for President Macron, that was headlines in France, possibly. That was the headline in Kenya. But we forgot about other things.
Right.
But you can be sure after 2, 3, 1 week, all those things will be back. That's why I agree with you that we should not shy away from the reality. And the reality is France has its own economic problems, Kenya has its own economic problems. And somebody must bear the cut. So if you look at the Kenyan situation, I was looking at the economic survey of 2026, and I saw the economy declining from about 4 point something. There was a decline of about 1%. That was significant, because if you look at the way things are, we would expect the economy to be growing.
Right.
So whether you are President Macron or President Ruto, I think the most important thing is you face the economic reality. Trading with other countries, having good summit is good, but I hope that at the end of it, it will not just be about politics, about good headlines, but about making sure that the citizens of France, the citizens of Kenya benefit from these deals. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to pay rent, everybody wants to pay school fees, everybody wants to eat. At the end of the day, it's about the economy.